Joined us, Brad is the driver of the number 2 Miller Lite Dodge for Penske Racing. And Brad comes into this weekend at New Hampshire 6th in points, made up some ground with a strong performance in Chicagoland. And before we start, Louis Frank has a special recognition that he'd like to present Brad. And Louis, take it away.
Hey, hi. I'm with the Driver of the Year Foundation, and we have a couple of other voters. We got Mike Vega, Mike Harris, award-winning semi-retired journalist. And in a vote of 21, go ahead, come around. Congratulations. We got Ed Hinton. Ed, you want to be in the picture? Okay.
Come on, Ed. Come on.
Come on, Ed. Old home week, Ed. Get over there.
Yeah, got to have it balanced.
We need a Southern guy in this thing here.
Yeah. So in a vote of 21 leading broadcasters and journalists, you were voted. You beat another Penske driver, by the way. And congratulations. So you get this big bird here.
All right.
And a Tissot watch.
All right. Thank you.
So,
Jumping right in. There we go. Cool. Thank you.
thanks very much. Oh,
Thank you.
thanks very much.
All right. Well, thank you very much, guys.
I have the box for that too.
Oh,
where's
yeah.
David? Where's Hovis? I got the box. If you need.
I don't need a box. I'll take.
Oh, you want to say something?
Yeah,
about the
well, I
award?
probably should speak into the microphone. I think it's pretty cool to win an award like this. It's certainly an award that I've followed through the legendary jski.com, and always wondered what it took to win it. So that's cool. I think it's kind of funny because I'm going to definitely take this home with me next time I go to Michigan. Because when I was racing, or just started racing at the local levels, I raced with my uncle a little bit. He kind of took care of me. And there was quite a few occasions where I made some bonehead moves where I was not called the driver of the year for sure. And I think I'd like him to see that. So it's quite an honor. So thank you again, guys, and appreciate you voting for me. Thank you. It would be a cool hood ornament. Yeah, you're right. I didn't even think about that. I don't think I'm going to do that with it, though. I'll find something really cool to do with it. First, I'm going to tighten the bolt on it. But I almost kind of like it that it spins.
Well, congratulations, Brad.
Well, do you think that's kind of cool that it spins?
It does.
You could say that was intentional, Louis, and I would have bought it. I would have said it was even cooler.
All right. Congratulations on that, Brad. And on this note, just look ahead now as you come to New Hampshire. You've got one race under your belt in the chase. You're a rookie in this championship run, but pretty good start for you.
Yeah, it certainly was a good start as far as the finish that we're able to get at Chicago. I felt like at the end of the race we were very competitive, and obviously the fuel played a factor in it, but I honestly felt like we were a top 3 car at the end of the race. So kind of got off on the pit sequence and caught a bad break, but all that came together, and we were able to get a good finish. And I think that's what you need to do in this chase. You got to take those days where things just don't go your way, and you've got to find a way to get a good finish out of it. We're able to do that there, and we need to do the same thing here in Loudon. So off to a good start.
Okay, we'll take questions. We'll start with Don, and then we'll come over here to Mike. Go ahead, Don.
Brett, Don Culba with Morris News Service. When you're at home watching a race, as a fan, sitting back, having a Miller Lite, and just watching a race, not a race driver, but a fan, what kind of race do you like to see? Do you like to see guys get rough? Do you like to see guys get mad? And
I kind of grew up with the local Saturday night short track style racing. And there's always going to be somebody mad if you ever watch one of those races. Nobody ever gets beat fair and square at a local short track. And, I think that I've always been a fan of good side-by-side racing. And more than just side-by-side, because that means different things to different people. Because there's people that don't like the new Bristol because it's side-by-side racing and it's, not wrecking. But I think it's more than that. A good race to me has got side-by-side racing. It's got a little bit of... door rubbing, fender banging, all that good stuff, and that's the kind of racing I like to see. I don't mind a little bit of emotion. No, I think emotion's good for it.
All right, let's go right here with Mike, and then over to Ed and Louis.
Hey, Brad, just following up on Driver of the Year, I mean, how meaningful was it for you to be able to make it a 1-2 Penske finish on the ballot, finishing ahead of Will Power? And second part of the question was, coming here after winning the pole last year, what kind of confidence do you derive from that, knowing that you have been fast here?
Well, it's very special for Penske Racing as a whole to have the 1-2 on that from the IndyCar and NASCAR side. Roger might disagree because that just means we're going to come back and ask for raises. But I feel very happy for the team and for the direction that we're going as a company as a whole at Penske Racing, and that's just another way of kind of showing that with winning that award. So all good stuff, and I'm very proud of all of it, and don't know how to say it any more appreciative than that. But yes, as far as the poll at Loudon's concerned, last time around here, I thought that was great. It was a good booster for me morale-wise, and makes me feel good coming back here that we can continue to have strong qualifying efforts, but we need to have better race efforts, and I'm committed to that, and I know my team is, and we spent a lot of time trying to get that better, and we have a whole new approach coming to this weekend and from where we were last time, and I feel like it's going to pay off.
Okay, go ahead, Ed.
Ed Hinton, ESPN.com. Brad, with the fuel mileage races, seem like they're just getting more and more. One last Sunday. Do you expect that this one Sunday could turn out to be yet another one? And also, is fuel mileage finishes, is that going to be just become sort of an overriding thing through this chase, do you think?
Boy, it's tough to know. I mean, a lot of it depends on where cautions fall, certainly. But, I think the larger piece of it, we're seeing more fuel mileage races because there's more cars on the lead lap. And when there's more cars on the lead lap, it's just harder to pass. It's harder to take advantage of new tires and make something of it. Because even if you come in and put on new tires and you have, 20 laps more fuel than someone else, you still can't get to the front, even when they're in fuel conserve mode and running lap times a half a second off because you have 20-some cars to pass. And with the aero deficiencies of the COT car in a big pack and the advantage that the leader has with the cleaner air, it negates the tire advantage. So, that's the real reason why you're seeing them. Now, hopefully, over time, I'm very hopeful that the fuel injection will come in and kind of alleviate some of those issues. But that's what we're seeing as a whole right now in the sport.
Varying drivers have come in today telling varying amounts about what their own techniques are for conserving fuel. Kevin Harvick said, "Yeah, right," and didn't say anything. Are you willing to talk about some of your techniques?
No.
And is fuel preservation, conservation getting to be for each team a whole new set of secrets, getting toward the line
Sure.
of things like chassis setup and that kind of thing?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, each team has their own way of making it happen, just like anything else. No different than cooling off your engines for Daytona and Talladega and different things like that. It's just an evolution of the sport. And the sport's always evolving. That's part of what makes it so interesting. And the thing that I will say about fuel mileage races is that as a whole, in general, they do take talent. The driver that is able to save it very well. There is some talent involved in that. So I have a level of respect for those races accordingly.
Let's go to Lewis, Lee, and then the gentleman that was there. He's coming back. I guess he's taking a break.
Gentleman in the red.
You have to be present to get the prize. Louis Frank Reuters. You've won Talladega. I was wondering, what do you think of the rules changes, and will we see a different race when it comes up?
I don't think it's that big of a deal. You might see a different race, might not. I don't think anyone really knows for sure. And the funny thing about Talladega is that nobody really practices, so I don't think anyone can give you a concrete answer until the race starts, and then we'll have a better idea of whether that's going to be a big deal. But I suspect it won't.
Let's go Lee, and then the gentleman in the red.
Lee Spencer, Fox Sports. How are you feeling?
Good. Feeling good.
Good. Can you talk a little bit about how difficult it is to tell a driver who's, predisposed to race fast, to be on the throttle all the time? How difficult is it for him to back up when you're
Sure.
hearing in your ear, save, save, save?
Well, I think that's always been a part of racing, at least professional racing, having the discipline to know when to go and when not to. It's the Tin Cup moment. It's you're ahead by 5 strokes, and you're on the last hole. Lay up, and that's part of the sport, and that's part of what makes it what it is having a driver or a player in whatever sport it is know what is to be gained and what's to be lost, and that's the intelligent quota of a driver and or of any athlete or guy in any sport. So yes, it is hard to do, absolutely, but it's part of what makes the sport what it is, and I think it's cool.
Let's go with gentleman right here, and then to Brad Gilly.
Brad, can we just get your general thoughts on this racetrack and what your focus might be this weekend?
Well, when you come to Loudon, I think you always have to focus on turning the center, and you hear that about a lot of different tracks, but Loudon, I mean, it's really all about turning the center. Really long corners that are tough to get your car to work all the way through. So you've got to have a really good car here. You got to get through traffic well and manage your pit road and not lose that track position. So, but mostly, if you've got a car that turns in the center, you'll be tough to beat here at Loudon.
Go ahead, Brad.
Brad Gilly, PRN. We're trying to get ahead of some of our stuff for Charlotte here in a few weeks, and more specifically, the big screen TV on the back straightaway. What was your first reaction the first time you saw that? Do you ever look at it during a race?
My first reaction in the Cup race was that I wish it didn't flash red during the middle of the race. There was like a 30-lap segment there where there was some commercial or something playing. I don't know what it was, but it kept flashing red when we'd go down the backstretch, and looked like a caution light or a red light from a distance. But in general, it's too close to the wall to be able to see, which is probably a good thing. When you go to Daytona and other places like that where they have the sprint vision, it's very easy to get caught looking at it down the backstretch where it's just in the right position where you can see it. So I'm kind of thankful that it's as close as it is. But I did get to watch the truck race, and obviously I ran the nationwide race while I was down there, and I don't think it was quite working for the truck race, but watching the truck race from the stands, I could tell it was going to be really cool for the weekend. And I think projects like that are really important to our sport. As one of the younger guys in the sport, I feel like one of the things that we can continue to work on and continue to do better to be able to relate to other guys my age is work on the technology front. And it's nice to see a racetrack on the forefront of that like Charlotte is.
Any further questions for Brad? Brad, thanks for coming in and spending some time, and good luck this weekend.
Have a good one.
Thank you, Brad.